Hello guys and girls and welcome back. It's Big John here, the outside the bottom of the screen if you like to listen to my music. So is all the relevant information I'll be speaking about in this video. And today I am back. Yes, I've been away for a bit. Unfortunately, I was suffering from COVID-19. You can probably still hear a little bit of it in my voice. I'm still trying to get better, but you know what you need during these periods and times. You need to rest a lot, make sure you can recuperate so that you can get back to what you need to be doing. But of course, I couldn't stay away from the charts for too long because I had to make sure I was giving out this source in this game the best way I possibly can. So what I'll be speaking about today in this video is I'll be speaking about 5 reasons as to why there is 90% of traders that actually end up losing than winning or becoming consistent in the market. A lot of it is very basic principles, but I will be going over some of these points in this video and I hope it does help you guys and girls. So let's get straight into the video. Okay, so you can see right now I am on my chart. This is GBP JPY. I am using TradingView to be able to show you this stuff, and I'm just going to go over the 5 pointers just showing you on GBP pairs. So the first point we're going to get into here is called strategy. So what you have to do first when it comes to Forex is you're going to have to figure out some type of strategy that you're going to want to use to trade when you're entering the market. Now this is something that probably takes the longest period of time for a lot of traders, because the problem they have the majority of the time is they're trying to find perfection in a market that is not perfect. And I'll be going over that, points of that as we go through this video. So my strategy I use here when I'm, let's say, manual trading, not using my indicator or anything like that, if I'm waiting for other setups, for my indicator to just produce them, is break and retest on higher time frames. So a lot of the times when I'm just doing my manual technical analysis, I'll be looking at the monthly, the weekly, and the daily time frame. Here we do have the daily time frame, and what I'm talking about here is I'm looking for a simple break and retest. So I have marked out most of this on the chart, as you can see here, and what we're talking about right now is you can see prices come up to a resistance level, then it's broke away from the resistance level. That is the breakout, and then here you can see, if I zoom in better, there has been a retest towards this area here, which is the resistance. As soon as this candle closes on the next day, I can pretty much enter here. Now of course I have other confluences I use to enter these trades. I don't just enter just like this. I'm just giving you a very basic idea of how simple a strategy can be in Forex. And even if I wanted to enter like this, I could. I just choose not to, just so I can make my stop loss a little bit smaller. That's really the only reason why I use my other confluences in terms of entry into these trades. And you can see straight away here, just from this, now this was a nice long-term trade that came all the way down here. If we're looking at repetition of how this break and retest strategy works, you can see the same thing happening here. You can see the market's hit a support level right now. It's broke away from the support level here, and then what did it do? It went to go retest this area around this support level, and then what happens here? I've got in on this candle here and I found a continuation going into this trade. That is as simple as a strategy has to be. You do not need to overcomplicate it. People that overcomplicate it and try and use 100 different reasons as to why the market should buy and sell, I'm telling you, you're just kidding yourself. There is no need for that, and you do not have control over every single thing this market's going to do, and you have to be willing to accept that. Okay, so this is GBP ORD on the daily time frame. Now I'm just using the daily time frame because it's going to show you a bigger picture of what the charts are actually doing. It's just a lot more of a clearer picture, and we can see here this is back testing and forward testing. Now what do you mean by back testing and forward testing? So what I just showed you on GBP JPY, now if we're talking about repetition, you want to go through several different pairs that might do this same type of thing. I do this with my mentorship students all the time. I go through all the 28 pairs, majors, minors, etc., and then I would have either back tested these pairs on the strategy that I'm trading, or I can forward test them, meaning that I'm getting them ready for when a setup's about to occur. So if you're back testing, we can see here, this is just like the previous setup. We had a level of resistance here, and then price went down to a level of support here. When price went down to this level of support down here, we can see there was a breakaway from this level. There was a pull back towards this level. So we can see here, here's the retest, and then you can see right here would be an entry for this trade. If you missed this one, there was another one because it broke up again, and then it went back for a retest towards this level again. So it's around this area. The market doesn't have to be specific. It doesn't have to hit a specific number. Sometimes it can just be an area. And you can see if you entered here on around this support level here, you would have had a continuation of this trade. Same thing. So this is just back testing the same thing that happened on GBP JPY, and I can do this through all of the other pairs if I need to do so. Now, if we're talking about forward testing, I've just shown you how I would back test and what I can see I'm looking for in order to be able to enter a trade. So if we're talking about forward testing, then of course the trade hasn't happened yet. So I'm not just cherry picking a trade and people thinking, you know, oh yeah, but that trade happened, so of course it won. No. Now, if you're forward testing, the same thing. We can see that this resistance level here was previous. I'm not entering this trade here. I'm waiting for this resistance level to be touched. This resistance level has been touched right now. And then what I'm going to be doing is waiting for what? The breakout, the retest, and then I would have entered where? Here. So if I entered here, I would have already been in profit. Where does my stop loss need to be in a trade like this? Now, my stop loss would only have to be just above this area here, because to be honest, if it's going further than that, I don't want to be in this trade now. I want to re-enter this trade later on if it stops me out. And we can see that my take profit would be down towards the next level of support or resistance. Now, there are several areas here. You have an area here, you have an area here, even you have this area here, and you have this area all the way down here. You can go and check my beginner's course on how I show different levels of market structure. That is on my YouTube channel, and it's in the Ultimate Beginner's Course Guide, or there is just a playlist you can go to, or my Discord. All of that information is in there. But of course, you can see this is how I would have been able to break down this trade, and this is how I'm forward testing this trade in order to be able to see if the trade will hit my take profit level or around about there, or my strategy actually does work. And this is all you have to do when it comes to trading like this. Now we're going to go into the third point, which is patience. Now, patience is you have to wait for the trade to come to you. Traders need to stop trading when the trade hasn't come to them just in order to be able to catch some type of pips. There is no need for you to be able to do that. This is one of the biggest points of what they always teach you when it comes to trading, and you see several YouTubers talking about this, is patience. Patience is very, very, very important when it comes to this market. If you do not learn how to gain patience, you will lose a lot more trades. So I'm not going to be entering the trade when it's here. If my confluences tell me I need to wait for it to get to this level, or let's say down this level here, and then I wait for my setup to occur, which is my break and retest, then why would I be entering the market here? Regardless if it sells all the way back down to the low, there is no need for me to enter this market here. I have to wait for it to come to this point here. This is the correct point. This is the incorrect point. I do not want to be trading there. This is what they mean by when they say patience in the market. It's not only waiting for a trade to play out, it's actually waiting for the trade to come to you first, and that's the most important rule. Now, point 4 is discipline. So I've put this together with fear of missing out, and it is previous to like what we was just talking about, which is patience. Now, discipline. I've used GBP CHF here as an example because you'd be able to see what I'm saying, and I could just speak about discipline more than even showing you anything, but most times it's better for people to be able to actually see what is being explained here. So we can see that there is several times that the market has hit this resistance level here, and I've made sure I've done this massive rectangle for you to be able to see. So please tell me why at any given time I would be looking for a sell in this trade right here, even though it is selling. I get it, and there is pips here if you're scalping. I'm not saying people can't trade like that. It depends on what strategy you're talking about, but in this video we're talking about me and how I've put the outlay of how my strategy is and what I'm waiting for here. So if I was to be disciplined, there is no reason for me to even care what this chart is doing until the market gets back up towards this level here. If the market doesn't reach this level here, I should not be looking for a trade in this pair. There's just no need for it. It's the same thing here. If the market does not come down to this level here, I should not be looking for a buy trade in this trade. And this is what you have to do. You have to be disciplined when it comes to trading. Don't get me wrong, this is extremely difficult because I get it. People are going to be making money. You could be making money. You might need to make money in terms of in your life. But in the end of the day, the market does not care about what you need. The market's always going to do what it needs to do. The market always looks out for itself. It will not be looking out for retail traders trying to get into this market. It really doesn't care about all of that. It has to do what it has to do, and we just have to respect that. Then I need to wait for it to get into position, and position would be either up here or down here. Okay, so now this is one of the biggest points here, and it's the hardest point to actually really show people. You know, it's something that you can talk to people a lot about, and you can show them. And I've spoke to a lot of my mentorship students. If you'd like to get into my mentorship, all the information will be in the description below. You just got to hit me up in Discord or Telegram, and I'll be able to direct you how you can get into my mentorship. It is a paid service, but I'm telling you, over the period of time, it will help you greatly in order to understand the market and all the things the market can get up to, everything you kind of pretty much need to know in the basics in terms of Forex and the strategy I actually trade, and for you to hopefully so become a profitable trader. So what we can see here is psychology. Psychology is something that you would only be able to learn from the market as you watch it day in and day out. And it's something for you to understand long term over short term. Now, why I say that, it doesn't mean that you can't take scalp trades and things like that. That's nothing to do with it. What it is that long term is the repetition and the continuation of you sticking to the same thing, doing the same thing day in and day out, just like a robot, but understanding that you will not see results in Forex in one day. Everyone comes to me all the time, you know, they'll say to me, oh John, if I have $1,000, if I join you, will I be able to make $150, $200 every single week? Will I be able to make, you know, X amount here and there? Doing all this type of stuff is putting you at a cap. Remember what I said in the other previous point, we have no control over this market, and the better and the quicker you understand that and you actually take that into a serious term, you'll realize that over the period of the long term, you will make consistent profits in this market, and you will consistently be able to grow and adapt. I'm not saying you're not going to have a good year where you're going to make thousands and thousands of dollars. It can easily happen to you in this game. It's not impossible. There's going to be good periods and bad periods in the market, but what you need to understand is the long term effect. Now, for me as a long-term trader, when I'm entering trades, I'm expecting to enter with lower leverage, but I'm holding trades for a longer period of time. You might still catch me using higher leverage sometimes in quicker trades and stuff like that, but the real bread and butter of what I'm doing and the long-term effect of how I'm able to be how I'm able to grow an account is I'll enter a trade like this here. So same thing, breakout, retest, entry. But this trade here lasted it was about, so we're looking around, let's say about 60 days on average. So that's almost 2 months you'd have been in a trade holding that. If you held this with a 0.01 or a 0.02, 0.01 on a 1 to 500 leverage would be $80. You could easily hold a 0.01 with no sweat, be able to sleep at any given time, not overwatching the market. You'd be able to enter that very, very easily on a $1,000 account, and you'd be able to make $80 off of that. Remember that this is just one trade. There are X amount of pairs that are doing the same amount of move, you know, week in, week out, or month on, month out. It's just doing this. So it's the psychology of understanding that the long-term effect, whether it be the trades you're taking, or even if it gets down to the point of actually consistently making money over a long period of time, you will be able to win from this game if you just take a seat back and you understand that this is a long-term game, and stop looking for short-term rewards. Stop thinking that you're going to be making $1,000 every day, $100 every day without fail. That's just not what needs to happen in Forex in order for you to be a long-term consistent trader. And if you'd like to know how to see this even better, please go over to my please check the link that I've put up here above, and it will show you how you can become a millionaire in Forex over 3 to 5 years. So yes, this is about it, guys and girls. It's a very simple video, but it's more of a video of me talking to the trader. You know, I can make many videos on different strategies, and I have no problem doing that. But people got to realize there is not going to be one surefire strategy, and there could be a million different strategies you do make, but everybody's going to have a different way of trading. The main thing you've got to understand here is the concepts of what I'm saying in these 5 points, rather than trying to figure out the best second to get into the market to try and win. Honestly, that doesn't exist, but you'll see what I'm saying. You'll just keep going around in circles. The best thing for you to understand is that this is a long-term game, and you've got to be in it for the long haul. We're talking 5, 10, 15, 20 years. If you're looking to take it, you know, for the long term, you will see consistent results. So please, on that note, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you like different videos or more videos like this, please just comment below. Let me know. You know, 2022, again, I'm going to be trying my level best to evolve this YouTube channel the best way I can for everybody to be able to gain the best information they can about Forex. So on that note, I'm going to love and leave you, and peace.